up, guys? Welcome back to Neon Trash. We're your hosts, Tommy the Hammer, Johnny Rocket, and Matt Hayes. Tonight we are going to be revisiting an old school classic that I know these boys like to, none other than the Pink Panther.
The original.
Yeah. Starring Peter Sellers and not Steve Martin.
We don't talk about Martin. No.
Terrible. God. So I can't wait to fly back into this movie, and I know these boys are as equally excited as I am. You guys know this routine. Check out that motherfucking trailer. Peep that shit.
Pink Panther style.
And when we get back, we're going to be reviewing Pink Panther. Boy, I am out of it.
You wanted to rush through this, and we did.
Rushed.
There you go.
Yeah, well.
Pardon me, sir, but what are you looking at? Is that by any chance the picture called The Pink Panther? Who's in it? Oh, it's David Niven. And Peter Sellers. How is he in the picture? Rolls them in the aisle, eh?
We must find that woman.
Alright guys, we just got done watching the old 1960s movie, The Pink Panther, starring Peter Sellers. Who is in it intermittently, to be
Robert
honest.
Wagner.
Robert Wagner.
Very young Robert Wagner.
I gotta say, revisiting this movie was simultaneously a treat and also an eye-opening experience because I haven't watched this since I was probably a little boy. I remembered some of the gags, didn't remember some of the gags, and I don't know, kind of came into this movie slightly blind today here in 2024. But I gotta say, it's definitely a funny movie. It was a sign of the times. I mean, this movie is a product of the early 1960s, and I mean, if you get that, then hey, there's a lot here for you to enjoy. If you don't get that, you're gonna come into this movie and be like, what the hell is going on? What's the hubbub bub?
Hubbub bub.
There's much hubbubbery in this film. I probably haven't seen this in 30 years, honestly. My dad, we read the Pink Panther movies from like the Kent Free Library, so I've seen, I think, all the old Peter Sellers ones, so they all have like kind of amalgamated in my mind into like one movie at this point. So like I was expecting a few scenes that like I didn't get. They must be from like the sequels, I guess. I mean, I could see why, these were right in my old man's wheelhouse for sure, because, I mean, he absolutely loves physical comedy, slapstick, and Peter Sellers is the master. Like, the things he pulls off, and just like the deadpan, like he's so good at playing the character, so that when he answers the phone and knocks the tray off the table, it just hits you so much because you're just not expecting, like every time he delivers it, you're not expecting, you're somehow lulled back into this sense of he's this, this dead serious Inspector Clouseau. So then when he pulls off these gags again, it hits like the first time every time.
I agree.
So that's really like the gem of this is Peter Sellers and that physical comedy.
Big thing about the movies back then, of course, up until probably I'd say about the 80s, was so much more dialogue. Like you guys were saying, to get you involved, to get you wanting to see it or see what's going on, to tell the story.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's everybody's action. Something has to be happening. It can't be just talking.
Yeah, it's all showing and telling. Yeah, this is still
that early Hollywood, early filmmaking.
I mean, 63.
Yeah, it was still.
It's still I would say early, but classic filmmaking. Yeah. Telling the story.
Yeah, it was telling the story at the same time as randomly putting that slapstick. Oh my God! I was starting to randomness of funny happenings. It's definitely a movie of its era and of its time. So it's kind of like a little bit of it's not that good as I remember, but hey, still good. So anyway.
Wonderfully put. Definitely some hilarious scenes. Final thoughts. I gotta say, I feel like everyone in this movie delivers. I feel like everything fires on all cylinders here. But there's definitely, some scenes didn't age well. Maybe it's one of those things where we're from a different era, different generation. I mean, 80s babies, 90s teenagers. Our fathers were the ones that this generation was really speaking to. And they just wanted to show it to us. And that's how it was for my dad. My dad was like, hey, Tommy, let me show you this goofball, weird, British
So my parents
comedy.
Too,
And
let's see this.
Yeah, I remember him putting this on and finding it funny. And I still find it funny today. And that's pretty much all you can ask for with a movie like this. I am at a high 6.5, flat 7.
Ew.
I mean, this is a really funny movie, but it's still not that great of a movie, honestly. It's I don't know. It is what it is, the whole product of its time, but it definitely spins its wheels a lot, and it's a lot of it doesn't quite translate to today and hold up a lot. So I was thinking 6.5. Myself, honestly, I love Peter Sellers. I'll always love, that physical comedy, and maybe he was, a complete asshole to work with, but it comes through on the screen because all of his scenes with that are just executed to perfection. Yeah. He wanted to be a master of his craft, and he was, man. The work he put in shows. He was absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait till the next time we watch some Peter Sellers on the channel.
Oh man, for sure. Yeah. Final thoughts,
right.
star count.
For me, it was, like you guys were saying, my mom was really into these type of movies. Like, Matt, you gotta watch these. And my dad's like, yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty funny, So yeah, definitely their time, their era. They like you guys were saying, definitely wanted to share it with their kids. And, we got to watch these gems. And in my opinion, this movie started setting the tone for the other ones, because the other ones, it was just like, bang, 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 bang,
right?
bang,
Yeah, they leaned a little bit
more
into
the comedy.
What was good about it, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, just all the timing of how he did his jokes and what was going on, and the slapstick.
Oh man.
It was
so
good.
So much.
So for its era, for even the soundtrack,
Yeah, great soundtrack.
Mancini.
Man, it was a maestro.
Yeah. So I would say I'm at about a solid 6.5 with you guys, but now I'll just give it a little extra, about a 7 for the nostalgia.
Dang.
And the memories.
Movies like this, they shaped us. You know what I'm saying?
It did. This was a fantastic dive into the old VHS vaults. We do it for us, but we do it for you folks out there too. Thank you much for tuning in to Neon Trash.